All right, and the recording has started. Thank you for tuning in, watching my first video. I always find it beneficial when I see people do, or even when I do it myself, a bar by bar analysis of the day. I find it kind of difficult to follow along and understand post analysis when people will analyze a chart after the fact. I don't find that as helpful because it's hard to go back and think about where your mindset was at in that specific moment. Whereas with a bar by bar analysis, you see exactly as bars are printed where that mindset's at, what you're thinking about. And I also just want to preface this by saying I'm no by no means a professional at this. I'm learning. So feel free to comment if you see a setup at a certain point in the video. Just go ahead and call out a timestamp. I want to go ahead and learn, just as everyone else wants to try and learn this. So this is basically how I set up my chart. I just have a 21 bar EMA. I've got a 200 EMA just to help with figuring out the right side of the market and if I'm on the right side of it. And then we have a 2000 tick chart printed as shown, and I have an indicator that shows second entry longs and second entry shorts. I started the day by marking just pre-market analysis, marking the highs and the lows, and that's how we're gonna try and start every video. Um, right now it's a bar by bar analysis, but I think, if I trade for the day, I can go ahead and mark up my chart, and then during the video it'll be easier to walk again bar by bar and follow along with the trades that I've taken for the day. So anyway, the day is starting 8:30 a.m. is what we have here. I have again marked resistance and support, and then just starting to draw some trend lines. So we have this trend starting from the bottom here. It broke, made a new high. um, so when we draw the trends, I really like to keep the bars filling up as much of that trend as possible. So that's the trend that I marked. Looks like we have a break here. And what I'm going to do, mark this channel kind of going down like this. And you see how prices are holding like that? I like that. Um, and so we'll just go bar by bar and see exactly what's happening. We had a new high, first entry, second entry long right here on this bar. It's closed below EMA. I personally don't like that trade, but anyway, let's just keep rolling with it here. So we have a new low that's marked there. We have a first entry short, and if prices trigger below this bar, we have a second entry short, but I don't like that signal bar. Now here is a signal bar I do like, right? That's a nice signal bar closed below EMA. I'm going to go ahead and mark that as an aggressive entry. Green is aggressive, and if I were to mark it red, that means, it's a relatively safe one, or at least I would think it's a relatively safe one. Um, but I do like this. We have first entry, second entry, short, room to the bottom with a downtrend. EMA is a little bit flat, but even if you were to say, okay, yeah, it's a little bit flat, if we were to draw in a range here, you still have room to the bottom of this range here. So I'm going to go ahead and take that. Let's see what happens if I go one bar here. Yep. So I would have made that scalp. That's a good trade, at least to me. Um, People could argue, sure, yeah, prices, the EMA is starting to level out a little bit. Hey, we had a break. We're still looking for a new high. In this business, it's just like if a trade works, people are like, oh, this is exactly why it worked. And if it doesn't work for some reason, people are on the bus of like, oh, well, that didn't work because the signal bar wasn't good enough. Or, you didn't draw the trend line correctly. Or, people will always make up a reason. So, um, I'm not going to get into too much of of that banter with people. People are going to obviously choose, hey, that was a good trade. Hey, that wasn't a good trade. So, throughout these videos, that's how I'm going to preface this: is, hey, I think that's a good trade. So, in the moment, I would have taken that trade. Anyway, the other thing I want to say is with these videos, with this video in particular, it's probably going to be a little bit longer, but that's just to kind of introduce exactly what I'm trying to do with these videos. They're uncut. I really don't want to cut them. I'm not, I don't want to spend too much time on them. So I want these videos to be a little bit quick. I want people to just see the analysis that at least I see for the day, and I'll leave it at that. So That was the first trade. I personally go for 6 ticks. I know some people go for 8, some people go for 10, some people only go for 4. I like a little bit of a lower number just because the market's been kind of crazy lately. So I personally go for 6 ticks. Could that change in the future? Sure, but I'm rambling too much. Anyway, we had a new high here, first entry long, coming down looking for a second entry long. But we're not even looking for that long, to be honest. Prices are now pushing and closing below EMA. I adjust my trend line a little bit here. All right, it's coming back up, and we're looking for another second entry short. We have a first entry short and second entry short. The only thing I don't like about this is it didn't close below EMA. If this bar closed below EMA, I would have taken it. I really would have. Um, I can understand why people would take this. You got a nice short-term trend coming up. We have a break, move to a new high. So the uptrend, at least short-term uptrend, already played out. We had a break of this downtrend. We're looking for a new low. Are some people going to take this? Sure. Am I going to take it? I'm not. The price of the next bar never closed below, so it would have never triggered. Um, So as prices are kind of working up here, the other thing I want to do is draw in a trend line from the bottom. Prices are holding. Break. Are we really looking for a new high? I don't know. It's a strong push below the EMA. Something I'm doing is I'm really looking at the price action. I'm seeing, hey, how is the price reacting as it's coming to the EMA? Starting from the bottom, I'm starting from the top, and how does it weave up and down through the EMA? What exactly are prices doing? And at this point, prices are cutting strong below the EMA. So obviously we have the high here. We had a first entry, which I don't really even pay attention to. I'm going to look for prices to kind of play out a little bit. I'm sitting on my hands. We have a low here. As prices come up to the EMA, let's see exactly what happens. We have a first entry. Basically, it's an outside bar. Uh, First entry short coming up. Looking for a second entry short. You know, Here I don't think I'm going to take that short. It's above EMA, doji looking bar. Some people are going to take it. I'm personally not. Some people would even take it after this. It pushes down below. The only reason I don't like that going short here is because we had a downtrend working. We had a break, new low. Two moves to a new low, really. First move, second move to a new low. So the downtrend has played out. I'm personally not going to take that. Even if we did have a little bit of room, it's a nice bar. You know what? Even with these bearish looking bars, I think it's an aggressive one. Would I take it? No, I don't think I would, but it's aggressive. It does work for some people. Good job, you get the scalp. Let's let prices play out a little bit more. I'm not interested in going and looking counter trend. Um, Prices coming back up, immediate rejection, coming back up, and prices seem to be falling. At this point in time, we kind of have another trend working down. So right off the top there, right to the bottom, first entry short and new low, new low, new low. First entry short. It's not a good signal bar to go short on. I'm not going to do that. Prices are kind of chopping up to the EMA here, but EMA is holding. So that's good. And what do we have here? I really should have stopped here. What do we have here? We obviously have the beginning of this trend. It touches it a second time. Some people could say, oh, it's coming up to touch it a third time. And the fourth time is here, right? Depending on how you draw this trend line, some people are going to say, hey, that's a safe trade to take. EMA is holding, prices are coming up, they're chopping, nothing's happening. That's an aggressive trade you could take. I would think it's coming back up to the top of that resistance of the trend line, and some people are going to take that. You're going to get those. You're going to get those 6 ticks. You're going to get those 8, 10 ticks. Is that a good trade? Some people would argue yes. I'd say it's a little bit of aggressive, but what do I know? Maybe that actually is a good trade. Let's see. New low coming up. First entry short and new low again. Something else I forgot to do is we still have this resistance level, this support level from pre-market hours. And sometimes what happens is as the day goes on, prices move up, touch the top of the resistance for pre-market levels and support levels of those pre-market levels. Prices will react around that range, and so you see exactly what happens here is prices are kind of moving around this range, and so that's why I like drawing it in. By this time, it's about 9:47 in the morning. So we've been trading for about an hour and 15 minutes real time, and we have one, two, three potential trades. So that's a good place to be for sure. All right, prices are continuing to move here. We have a little bit of a support. You have one, two, three, four, five touches down here. It could be worth putting a little level down here, right? I'm trying not to be too exact, but that's something that I'd probably draw in, something to be wary of. New low, first entry short. And the other thing is when we're in a downtrend like this, we're looking for those second entry shorts or failed second entry longs. We're trying to find reasons to go short. I'm not a fan of counter trading. Some people will be like, okay, well, you find this little level right here, and oh, that's a good signal bar. Let's go long there. You're going to be in for the trade, and you'll get the scalp eventually. I personally don't like that. Now, is that the best example? Probably not. So first entry, let's say we're looking for a first entry and create a new low. Now prices are holding below this EMA. That's something else that we have to note. This is a strong push down. First entry, as soon as these three bullish bars, we're looking to see how are these prices going to react at the EMA. It finishes with a nice bullish bar. Some people try going long here, right? They're trying to pick this bottom and they're like, oh, we're closing above EMA. I'm going to go long there. It ticks up one. This next bar ticks one, and then it reverses, pushes below EMA. So some people would say, hey, it's a risky place to go short. Could you go short there? Sure. The other thing I'm not really drawing is, short-term trends. So as this trend line's working down, what I should be doing is drawing in short-term trend lines like this. And sometimes we'll find a break, a new high, and then that's where people will go short. That'll be those second entry shorts that people look for. So that's technically something that I should have started. Break, new high, and that's a second entry short that people would take. I'm not going to do it in all of them, to be honest. Break, new high, coming back down. I also don't want this video to be too long. We're already at 12 minutes, 13 minutes. But, by doing this bar by bar analysis, I think it holds myself accountable. It not only teaches me what I should be looking for, but it might help other new people out, new beginners. Okay, so what do we have here? We got a break of trend. We have short-term trend. I usually start it from wherever that trend is starting. And some people might start it from down here. But we have a short-term trend working up. We have a little break, new high, second entry short. I personally do not like picking tops, especially because after this long downtrend, we're looking to make a new low. We're looking for a new extreme. After trend line breaks, we're looking for new extreme or correction. So let's look for that new extreme. Some people would have taken that second entry short right there, and that would have worked out for them. I think it's too risky. What do we have? We have first entry long, second entry long, but it's a doji bar. I don't like it. We're still looking to make a new low. Price could easily return. Look at that. Price could easily move back down below EMA, and it does. And, some people, let's see, where are we at? We're at 1.25 to 3.0. So if you're going for 6 ticks, you could potentially get that. But not my cup of tea, not what I'm going to be doing. So break, we're still looking for this new low. We were looking for prices to push below EMA and continue going down. That's what we were looking for. It didn't happen. Prices closed below EMA and then immediately reverse above the EMA. So what is that telling us? That's saying, hey, something's different. Something's different here. Could that be our attempt at a new low? It would be worth drawing in a trend line, see what exactly is going on. We'll see if it gets confirmed. What am I looking for right now? I'm kind of just standing by. Hey, could we get a higher low here? Look at that. Look at that confirmation of the trend line that I just drew in. First entry, second entry. Am I going to go long above this bar? No. Am I going to go long above this bar? That could be worth. That definitely could be worth something. The only thing that's kind of turning me off from it is a short-term trend, right? Because you could draw it in like this, or people could argue you could draw it in like this: break new low, first entry, second entry. So let's see what happens next bar. If you went in. I usually retrace one tick, so I would have entered 3.25, 4.25, 7.5. I would have been out 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you're going for 10 ticks, you still would have gotten out. Um, it's risky, right? It's risky, but that's the third time. That's the third bar that's confirming this trend line. So I would have taken that. And we have a break. And this is where people will argue, okay, well, this trend line probably was something more like this. Break new low. What else is this telling us, right? Could we have something like this? That's a little bit wide. I personally don't like it. We like to keep things as short as possible. Let's see, next bar. So off this overall trend line right here, we have a break looking for a new high, and we get it. We get a new high. Price is bouncing off this 200 EMA. It's prices are holding below it, so we could potentially keep moving down, but we'll see what happens. As this EMA moves closer to the 200 EMA, we see prices react. So let's keep moving here. First entry, second entry long. I wouldn't have gone long over there. Second entry short, I'm not looking to go short above the EMA, especially because prices have been closing above EMA. So we could be looking at a new uptrend here. So what are we looking for? We're looking for second entry longs, failed second entry shorts. So am I looking for a second entry short, failed second entry short? I mean, maybe some people could argue first entry short, second entry short, failure. Some people would have gone long here, and I forgot to mark that. Some people would have gone long there because when you see what you're looking at, first entry, second entry, looking to go long. The only thing is we just had a break in a new high of this trend line here, right? This is the new high, so I don't know if I'd be going continuing to go long. We're still looking for this new low after this long downtrend. So prices are moving up. We're looking for second entry longs, first entry long coming down. Any bar that triggers above would have been a second entry long. Failed second entry long. Are people going to go short here? To be honest, people might, right? You got a downtrend working. Some people could say break new low. Failed second entry long. People are going to go long above that bar. It's risky, but people will go short here, see what happens, and see that would have ticked out. Then you would have you would have scalped out. And what are prices doing? They're trying to make this new low. You see prices are pushing down. So what do we got to draw? Got to draw a nice short term trend line down, break, looking for a new low. We're not getting it. We're not getting any new low even of the short term trend line. It looks like we're making higher highs and higher lows. First entry, second entry short. This is just another one of those scenarios where you have a first entry short, second entry short failure. I kind of cheated because I already saw what was going to happen. People could argue, hey, go long there. The other thing I'm noticing though is prices are pushing above EMA, below EMA, above, below, above. EMA is starting to flatten out a little bit. This is where my hey, we could be looking at a range mindset starts coming into play, something like that, right? But we'll see what prices continue to do. Prices break above though. Does it come back down? No, it doesn't. Is this really a healthy trading range? Are we really moving above, below the EMA? Probably not. So I'll probably, delete that. Looking for some sort of uptrend. And I don't even know. We're looking for prices to fit. They don't really fit too well, so I don't really have anything to put, to be honest. Start from here. Probably do something like that, right? Price is trying to hold. We have a break, looking for that new high. Second entry long takes place. First entry long, second entry long makes that new high. Next bar, first entry short. And prices don't even respect the EMA. They come straight back down. First entry short as well as a second entry long, but you're not trying to go long below this EMA. Little double bottom. So this double bottom resets the count. First entry short, come up, second entry short. Are you going to go short here? That's the question that you need to ask yourself. I don't want to see what the next bar is. I want to think. I want to analyze. What are we looking at, right? So we kind of go back in time. We had this long move down range. Oh, I forgot to freaking move this. My bad. We had this big down move, happen, right? And we're steadily making higher highs, higher lows. Some people could even argue, hey, it's something maybe like this. See how prices are holding like that? Break, moves to a new high, even in the short term trend. Break, new high. That's when we're looking for a reversal, right? Are we going to get it right away? Probably not, but let's see what happens. Prices push below EMA. We get a double bottom. That resets the count. Resets the count. First entry short below EMA. Prices are holding below EMA, right? Even after this bullish bar, we're looking for prices to shoot above. We don't get it. I'm going to go ahead and mark it, right? And is it even a red? Is it a green? A lot of these have been kind of risky lately. It's hard to know for sure, but you do have room to the bottom here. You have room to this bottom where this double bottom was. So let's see what happens. Doesn't trigger. If it ticked below this bar, I would have been in that trade, but it never triggered. So we stay safe. We can just delete that. And now look at what prices are doing. Prices are really holding this EMA. This EMA is really flattening out. That's one of those, indicators. First entry, second entry, not even, that's just a new low that I marked. Technically, that's not even true. The new low is here. First entry, second entry already happened. We'd be looking for a lower high before we got into anything. New high, first entry. We don't get a second entry. First entry, it's very small, but we're looking for a second entry. If it ticks above, that's a little high from it's a little far from the EMA. I personally wouldn't take that. Now what? Because you see these prices are moving up. What's the consensus here? It is an uptrend. Some people are going to take that, but I don't like going along here when we still have this gap. We have room to the EMA, so I'm looking for prices to come back a little bit more. I wouldn't take it. I'd stay out. You see, it would have ticked up once. Maybe you got scalped. Maybe you scalp out. But see, prices come back to that EMA. That's why I would not have gone long there. There is space there that needs to be filled, and that's exactly what happens. These prices come back. They'll stop you out. Okay, so now we've got higher lows working here. I'm not making any trades. I'm not looking to go short yet. Something that people could be doing, right, is once you see this break, that's when you start drawing in these trends, right? We got a break here. Let me extend this one a little bit. First entry short, second entry short above EMA. I'm not going to take it. But something that people could be doing is, hey, we gotta adjust the trend line a little bit, right? We're looking for a lot of touches up top here, touches on the bottom here. First entry, second entry, I'm not taking that. Even though we are technically looking for another short, I'm sorry, a new extreme. We're looking for a new low from this trend line, but I'm not going to take that short. first entry, second entry long. Prices are holding above EMA. Am I going to take that? If it's risky, how many points are you risking if you entered, 475? You could be risking a lot. Because these bars have been pretty big lately. It's 13 ticks. Um, hmm, would I take that? We're still looking for a new low. You know what? I'm not going to take that, and I'll explain why. So with the prices are holding at this midline here, right? But we want prices, if it's a nice strong uptrend, we want prices moving up to the top of the trend lines that we're drawing, like here, right? We have prices start down low here, all the way up. Come try and test down low. It doesn't even reach down low. That means we're nice and bullish, coming back up, touching the top of the trend line, coming back down to confirm the trend line, moving back up, back and forth across that midline section, right, that we have drawn in. Here, in this big trend that I've drawn, we don't have prices touching the tops, right? We have prices respecting this midline, but here they're going above the midline. Here it really shoots above the midline, but then it comes back down and now it's just holding the midline. This is a risky one to take. I probably wouldn't take it. We have this short-term trend line. Could you trade a failure? I'd probably trade a failure maybe, but I don't think I'm going to go long there. Let's see what happens. Right, it's a lot of talk for nothing, because if you enter that, you would have made it. But, you know, prices go exactly where I think they're going to go, right? Yeah. Look, no, maybe not. Yeah, what am I talking about? Yeah, that's one I got to just look through again. But we have a new high, first entry, second entry long. I can't really see a reason to go long there besides, hey, I'm feeling kind of antsy and I want to enter a trade sort of thing. The reason why I'm kind of going back and forth with this trend is because some would want the trend. Technically, you're supposed to draw that trend line at that swing, at the first swing. Let's see. If I got to move the trend line a little bit right, kind of goes off that swing. Still touching the top there. Are people gonna go long there? It's a big bar. I mean, 24. I don't think I would go long there, but it works for some people, so that's great. New high, first entry, second entry, right? That's a second entry long. Nice strong push above EMA. Prices are holding. Some people are gonna enter, right? That's a risky one. It's a second entry long. Would I enter there? Maybe. I mean, I got room to the top. Man, so this is where it gets kind of tricky, because you also have this short-term trend line going up, right? Break, looking for a new high. Could that have been the attempt at a new high after these series of bearish bars? Are you going to try going long there? I mean, in an uptrend, we have higher highs. Um, overall higher lows. I'm gonna go long there. Go for 6 points. It never triggers, thankfully, because it would have reversed. I would have gotten stopped out. Oh, wait a second. What am I doing? It never triggered here. So that means that wouldn't have been a second entry. So if I'm still, thinking about what I'm going to be doing in that moment, first entry long, second entry long, if I didn't go long there, I would have done it here. Prices push below. Look at that bearish signal bar. You think prices are going to reverse and come back down. Again, fast forward a little bit, cheated. I kind of saw where that first bar was going. But yeah, I would have entered there. Would I have gotten stopped out? Man, that's cutting it close. 950 to 70, or was I like 75? I think I would have barely made it with 6 ticks. Barely made it. But I probably would have gone long there. Prices continue. And now prices are really selling off. Would you even draw it from there? Draw it more like this, maybe. At this point now, prices are falling. Prices reacting a little bit. At this point, are you even looking for second entry shorts? Prices are not coming up to the EMA again. There's your second entry short that triggers. But this is one of those moments. Second entry short in its downtrend. Are you going to take it? I'm personally not going to take it because we got space between this EMA and this bar down here. So not going to take it. It triggers. You're going to stopped out. And after this overall uptrend, we're looking for a new extreme. The high side here, are we going to get it? Don't know. And there the day would have ended. So anyway, risky trades, but that's basically my bar by bar analysis of how I probably would have thought about each of these trades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trades. And that's all I got for today. So thanks for watching. I'm sorry that the video was long. It was 30 minutes. I need to work on that. I'm going to work on dialing it down, just streamlining information, exactly what I'm thinking. Future videos should be shorter. But I do appreciate you watching. Hey, leave a like, comment, let me know if this was helpful to you. And if you saw a part of my analysis that was kind of off, you know, mention in the comments. Let me know because I want to get better at this. And I think people get better at this by teaching other people and helping guide other people along. So, if I'm wrong at any point, call me out on my mistakes. Let me know what I could have done better. Let me know how these future videos can be more helpful to you. But that's my analysis of the day, March 3rd, 2022. And thanks for watching.